What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing today? My name is Joseph, and welcome to Mevo Live. And of course, I am joined by my partner in crime, Will. Come on in here. How's it going,
What's up,
buddy?
man?
How are you doing today?
Doing good. Really testing the network and the computer today. So good times.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a jam-packed show ready for you today. Today, it's all about Multicam. So let's talk about the Multicam update that we recently released. The Mevo Multicam update is a 1.4 update that allows a couple of new things. One being you can now get your Mevo Multicam to your computer via your wireless webcam application. You can now stream directly to Twitter, and you can use the new and improved advanced audio mixer for even more control with the Multicam. So Will, before we get into that, Will, we're talking a lot about Multicam today. You're going to do a demonstration for us. So before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about our setups. So for me, let's give me a little spotlight here. So on my setup, I'm using a Mevo Start, and I'm using the wireless webcam application. My Mevo is, however, connected to a PoE directly into my my router. So now I have direct internet coming in through Ethernet. Then I'm also using for audio the blue baby bottle microphone, which is then routing itself through a ton of gear. It's going through a compressor, an audio mixer, a headphone amplifier, which then disperses that signal out to a bunch of different Mevos that I have set up. So normal setup for me. But Will, let's talk a little bit about your setup today. Yours is a little bit more going on with it.
Yeah. So I guess starting with the Mevo, I've got my main Mevo, which is what is pulled up right now. This is connected via wired webcam, and it's going directly into Melon, so it's not hitting anything like OBS or Streamlabs or anything like that first. And then for audio, I've got my Blue Encore 300 mic right now, which is hooked up with this Blue Compass mic stand, and then going into a Go XLR, which is then connected USB to my Windows PC. So that is my Mevo setup right now. And I've also got 2 Lighter Glows on each side of me, and then the UE Custom 7 in my ear.
Very cool. I too am using the Lighter Glows as well. And we're actually playing with the Lighter Glows and the exposure with the Mevos a little bit earlier. It's definitely very interesting. All right. Yeah. So before we continue, let me go ahead. And there's a couple of things I do want to talk about. So if you've watched the show, if you haven't watched the show, we do the show Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we want to let everybody know that starting on March 31st, we're actually going to be moving our channel. So starting March 31st, we will be live every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. So same time, but we will be on youtube.com/Logitech for creators, twitch.com/Logitech C, and also we'll stay on facebook.com/Mevo camera. So if you're watching us on Facebook, thank you for watching us. We'll stick with this channel. For everyone else that's on Twitch or YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe and follow those other channels so you can get the updates from us and see our show every Tuesday and Thursday.
All right. So that's huge. So next Thursday is March 31st. So that show will not be here. So if you're watching on Twitch or you're watching on YouTube, there will be nothing there. So be sure to follow Logitech C on Twitch, and then on YouTube, Logitech for Creators. Otherwise, you'll miss the whole exciting show that we have planned.
Yeah, and it's going to be a fun one for sure.
Yeah.
But we got a fun one today. We're talking multicam. We're talking Streamlabs. Let's just go ahead and say hi to some people here. Virgil,
Sure.
what's going on, Virgil? I see him in there. Let's see. Oops.
What's up,
There we
man?
go.
Watching from Twitch. Loving it.
Yep, we got some Twitch followers. What's up, Virgil? How you doing? Gordon, thanks for joining us as always.
Hey, Gordon.
This is a good question. Actually, you know what, Sean, we're gonna answer this question with the topic that we have going on today. So stay tuned, and we're definitely gonna answer this question. If anyone's just listening, he's asking. He has a single Mevo, but he wants to get a 3-pack. How can he incorporate possibly 4 Mevos into his stream? So we're absolutely gonna answer that question for you today, Sean. Thanks for that. George, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us. How are
George.
you? Jeff, what's going on? All right. So we got some chatter going. This is great.
Nice.
All right, so Will, let's go ahead. Let's hand it over to you. Let's talk about what we want to talk about today, and take the reins, bud.
Cool. So today is all about using the new 1.4 Mevo Multicam app and connecting that to Streamlabs Desktop. So this is really cool because it really lets you combine the power of the Streamlabs program on your computer. So if you want to add animations, video clips, maybe you want to have low music, or you want to have HTML overlays, or have your chat scrolling down the side of your window, all of that stuff and more. If you're a gamer, you can obviously bring your game in to Streamlabs as well. So you can do a lot with Streamlabs, and now bringing multicam into Streamlabs, not only does it make a lot of it mobile, but it also makes it a lot easier on your computer. So if you had, for example, 3 Mevos connected via wired webcam, it might be a heavier load on your computer than if you have 3 Mevos connected via wireless webcam, because then your computer is just seeing that one source instead of 3. So to kind of demo that, we have first, I guess let's pull up the multicam app, the split screen.
Sure.
So this is really
so
interesting.
We're gonna go for the app view,
Yeah,
right?
here we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
So first, I want to talk about just the multicam aspect of things. So right now, I'm using this Android tablet. This is a Samsung Galaxy Tab S7, and Android allows you to do this kind of split screen with all apps if you go into the advanced settings. So what you see on the left side of the screen is Streamlabs, their remote, the Streamlabs remote. And then on the right side, obviously, you see multicam. So this is really cool because it allows me to take this tablet, super small, portable, and be completely mobile. So I can move anywhere I want to in the room. This is obviously more useful if you have like a giant venue that you're using to do your broadcasts, or even if you want to just have all your controls in one place. So if we pull up the output real quick.
Sure. Hold on. And let's make this the main view here.
Nice.
Okay, so what we're seeing here, just so everyone knows, is there's 2 screens on the bottom that you see are Will and I's inputs into Melon, our normal webcam inputs into Melon. And then what you're seeing here is the Streamlabs output, while Will is also using the multicam app inside Streamlabs.
Right. So how right now Streamlabs allows you to have a virtual cam just like you can in OBS. And so with a virtual cam on your computer, that means you can bring in whatever you're doing in Streamlabs into any other program that accepts a webcam. So this is currently going into Melon directly, but it could go into Zoom. It could obviously stream directly out to your destinations, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff, or a custom RTMP if you wanted. But just for this demo, we have the virtual cam going directly into Melon. So just to kind of show you what I can do here. So for the multicam app part of it, I can switch between these 2 cameras really easily, very normal. I can even go in and add a graphic if I want to. Let's see, graphic, lower third. we go. So you can do typical graphics, anything you want. You can do full screen overlays, just like you would with any multicam output. And this is going directly into wireless webcam. And then Streamlabs is seeing it as that one input. So I can do anything I want, typical multicam stuff. But I can also now add GIFs. I can switch cameras if I want to go to a snap camera. So this is now using multicam as an AR source. So right now this is going from multicam into snap camera application, and now I can use it as a nice little fun moving pixel thing.
That is awesome.
So just like
So
the extreme
let me-
things
let
that
me-
you can do.
Let me ask you some questions about this, just so I understand the signal flow a little bit better, right? So you have multicam coming into Streamlabs, and then from Streamlabs, this is an app filter.
So this is going from multicam to Snap Camera, which is a third-party application. It's done by
Got it.
Snapchat. And so Snapchat has used all this technology in their application for a long period of time, right? So they've been able to do these AR filters, and it's the same with Instagram. But Snapchat has their own application on the PC. So you can add all of these AR filters to whatever you want. And what's cool is if you wanted to switch cameras, it will continue using this AR filter. So if I had
Interesting.
another camera set up on my right side, then that would show just the profile of this image, this overlay AR image, which is kind of just extreme. Yeah, we can
Wow.
definitely link the chats. I see there's a chat that says, "Can you link the applications?" So yeah, we could probably do that in the YouTube description and link the applications. But it's
sure.
totally free, and it's a lot of fun, and you can do a million different things. They literally have, I think it's every single AR overview that's in, or overlay that's in the Snapchat app. So lots and lots of options.
Oh man, that looks like somebody we know that works on
Right?
Mevo stuff.
It does. Maybe he made this.
Wow.
So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with it. And it's just one of those things that you can do on the computer that you just can't do in the Mevo app. So now going
Really
back
cool.
to, let's go to the app.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so we're back in the app, and if you want to
So
keep an
now-
eye on what Will's doing on the output, it's up in the top left there.
Nice. So yeah, so you have control over all of these things, whether it is changing the camera source or changing the audio source or adding graphics and overlays. It depends like what kind of stream you're doing and what you want to do with it. But if you wanted to, you could say like, okay, I'm going to go into scenes. It'll just take a second to switch.
And this is the app you're using. So it's just so everyone knows, Will does have Streamlabs on his computer set up, and this is the app that's controlling it through his tablet. So this allows you to
Right.
have control over both the Multicam app and Streamlabs directly from one tablet. So instead of having to need to go back and forth between the computer, you could control everything right from here, which is really, really, really cool.
Yeah. So let's see. We've got Streamlabs loading here.
I'm just looking through your options here, and it looks like you have inputs, outputs, graphics, audio inputs, specific scene selections, which is, I guess, all you would really, and themes. So this is really all you would need. This is great.
Yeah, and so like I was telling you before the show that how I've been using this is I have been talking to people on Discord, and I will take the Streamlabs output using the virtual cam option from Streamlabs, put that into Discord, and then I'm able to walk around my apartment. And with this one tablet, I can change the Mevo so it's following me. So every time I move to a different room or to a different section, I can switch to that Mevo, and then I can activate that Mevo's audio. You can do that two ways, right? You can do that either in the Multicam app using the audio outputs that you were showing last week, or you can use Streamlabs and just switch by pressing the button, which is really sweet.
Wow. Yeah, really, really, really cool.
Yeah. So this is obviously a super extreme setup, and it may not be something that you need, but maybe you do want to add lyrics to your house of worship service. Maybe you want to add a intro video or an outro video, or maybe you have a highlight reel that you want to play during a game. There's really a million ways that this is useful. Also, for people that are doing sports, that you can obviously do things like Sideline HD and Game Changer, but there's also a lot of services that require a computer, right?
Yeah.
To do those overlays. So now you can do that using Multicam and Streamlabs you can bring this really lightweight laptop with you that's not super expensive and doesn't have to be super powerful, because all the work is being done on the tablet now, which is huge.
That's awesome. So let's say we want to go back to Sean's question from earlier, right? And his question was, I'll pull it up again. Where is he? There it is. So Sean's question was, if he has a single Mevo and he's trying to get more than 3, let's say, with your type of setup, if we were in Streamlabs, like, let's take a look at how we would do that.
Yeah.
So let me pull up Streamlabs for you, and you can kind of walk us through that.
Cool. So as you can see, this is a lot of people are more familiar with OBS, and this is obviously a very similar layout. But the cool thing about Streamlabs is it lets you get a little bit more advanced and allows you to add a lot more customization options. So right here you see we've got the different scenes on the left side. That's where it says main, secondary, gaming, BRB, all that stuff. And those are nice to have, specifically if you want to make sure that you're like switching all of your sources. So for example, when I am doing streaming and then I want to kind of go run and grab something, or I need to like change something in my setup, I'll just press the BRB. It'll open a window that will just say, be right back soon, whatever it is says. And then people will know that I'll be right back. But then you've got a different setup where I can select gaming. And if I have gaming, then it'll immediately grab whatever game that's being played and use that as a source. And then if you see on the right side, you'll see all the sources available. So right here, I have loaded up a regular PNG graphic, which you're all familiar with in Multicam. I've got a GIF, which is just a W that just rotates. I've got a mute mic image. So, sometimes if you're streaming and you need to mute the audio, which happens a lot, I know, with people that play music or are in public areas and they can't control the audio, it's good to allow your viewers to know that it's not a technical glitch. So I will like throw up this mute mic icon. That way everybody knows that it's on purpose.
Let's take a look at that. So
yeah,
before we continue, let's give an example of that, and then we'll get into the rest of it. So let me show this on screen here, and let me hide this real quick. So if you're looking at the Streamlabs output, I'll see if I can bring that up to the forefront here. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to restart something real quick.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me know when you're ready on that, and I'll go back to this.
Okay.
All right, so just to recap, so on the left-hand side, on this side here, so this would be your sources. And again, your sources are the grouping of, your scenes. Your scenes are the grouping of your sources. So for example, the scene we're on right now is main 6 right here. And then we can see everything that entails in main 6, right? So that's
right.
The Streamlabs logo that Will was discussing, the graphics overlay that we're going to check out in a minute. And then he has a bunch of other inputs here that we're going to get further into, like down here. we're going to get into as well.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Good on that?
Should be.
Let's
You
try it out.
see the Streamlabs input now? The output?
Let's see. Nope.
Nope.
Something going on with Melon here. Let me see. I see it in my preview. I don't see it on my screen. Let me give myself a little refresh.
We're just
All right.
trying to break things.
I know.
But that's okay. I actually know what it is.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. There we go. It should be there now. Cool.
Let's see. Bring it up to the front.
Boom.
Sweet.
All right.
So yeah, show us the example of like the graphics that you were talking about.
Yeah. Can you pull up the app as well, like in a little one?
I can try. Sure. Let's see. All right. So here's the deal with this. The app is a screen share. So in Melon, yeah, this will work. So in Melon, there's different options as far as like how the whatever the presentation is set. So if it's a video input option, like Will I and Streamlabs output, it comes in as a separate. You get separate options. When you're doing a screen share, you get separate options as well. But I think this should work. So we have the Streamlabs output is on top.
Yep. So now if I want to, let's say I'll add the GIF, right? So just tap that. And all of these naming conventions go from Streamlabs to this app. So if I wanted to change the name of the GIF in Streamlabs, that would then be reflected in the app. So I can pop open the GIF. I can switch to a Streamlabs PNG transparent logo, just like that. And then here's the muted mic that I was talking about there, which is actually it's like right on top of my light. Let me see.
I don't even see it.
Yeah, there.
Oh, there it is. There it was hidden in that light. All right, cool.
Right. Yeah, so really cool. And then also you can switch sources all together. So if I wanted to bring up my phone, this is another great thing that you can do. Let's see that. Is that you can not only use your Mevos as sources, but you can also use any other camera source that you have. So right now, you should be seeing the phone. And this is a iPhone that is just sitting back here. And I'm using NDI Capture app on the iPhone to then send the iPhone's camera directly to Streamlabs. And Streamlabs, unlike OBS, has NDI built into it, which is really, really nice. You don't need to look for the latest NDI plugin for Streamlabs because it's just built in. So I can have that. And obviously, yeah, it's so much easier. And then you can just switch back to another camera. So you have unlimited amount of sources, as many sources as your computer can handle, which in my case is a lot for right now.
Quite a bit. All right, so then going back to this is hilarious. So going back to Sean's question, right? You can add the other Mevo along with the Multicam application as an additional source in Streamlabs, right? So if we were to, let's bring in my little arrow here. If you look right here, you see the NDI Mevos. Then you see the NDI phone, right? So I'm guessing you have some Mevos set up too that you can bring in NDI as well.
That's right. You can bring in Mevos in NDI, and you can also bring in Mevos via wired webcam. The only thing that you can't do is bring Mevos in wireless webcam because all of those Mevos are multicam.
Right. So if you're using the Multicam application and you're going into Streamlabs, you're going through the wireless webcam application. So that slot is being taken up really by 3 cameras.
Right.
Yeah. Right, so let's see. You got your regular. Excuse me. You got your wired webcam.
It's the same with audio sources, right? Like
right.
For audio sources, if you want to have, a like really advanced blue XLR microphone, and you want to have a USB microphone somewhere else. Yeah, let's see. Then you can do that. So you can have any one of your sources. This includes bringing in wireless audio from Wireless Labs and just anything you can. So it's really kind of like the most advanced streaming setup that you can do, which is great.
Pretty much. I mean, if you watched our show last week, and if you haven't, I highly recommend it. We did a whole demonstration last Thursday about the differences of how to bring audio in through the multicam mixer. So essentially, I mean, what did we count it? It was about 5 sources per input almost. It was
Yeah.
I think it was about that, right? You have your internal microphones, you could have a lav, XLR, USB, line input for just like sound effects and music. So that was 5 inputs per camera input, really. And bring that into Streamlabs, and now you can have an additional however many audio inputs in Streamlabs that you can use and you can blend and you can mix together, which is really cool. So if we bring that up here, let me go to this view so you guys get to see it a little better. You'll notice on the right hand side, which is the next bracket here, is the audio mixer, right? So you have your audio, desktop audio, mic augs in, the NDI phone audio. So each source will have its own audio input inside Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Which then again, in turn, when you go back to the application, now you have all those options on your tablet mobily.
Yeah, and if you want to see something even more crazy, if you go to the let's see, if you go to my other output, I think it's where the Streamlabs output. Yeah.
Yep. And let me hide.
Cool.
Let me hide this guy, and we'll highlight this one.
So this is another extreme example that you may do, you may not. But now I have multicam going through NVIDIA Broadcast, which means that NVIDIA Broadcast is finding me, the focus, and it's blurring everything around me. And that's the same for every camera that I choose.
Oh, wow. I see.
Now, I change this. Not work there. There we go. Sort of. So here.
Well, it works though. It definitely works. It's finding you for sure.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then that doesn't matter. Yeah, even when you cut to this view, it still cuts you out and blurs the background, which is really, really cool. So you can really get, let's say you're doing a, oh wow, there you go. Boom. Look at that.
So you could do this and put yourself over a game or anything you want.
That's great. And you don't need to have like green screens surrounding you, right?
Exactly. So the things that you can do on your computer are like ridiculously endless. Like you have so many options on the computer. And this is not even the max. Like I could probably run the Snap camera through this as well.
But then you can get a blurred background or a green screen background technically, and the Snap.
There you go. We've got, and look at this. Cool. The shadow actually follows my Snap face, which is crazy.
That is amazing.
Right?
I don't even know what to think anymore. This is blowing my mind.
We'll do background blur on this. And it looks like now this Mevo is a super high level DSLR.
All right, so team, let's talk about the signal flow again. All right, so right now we're looking at one camera, which is a Mevo camera, Mevo Start, that is also connected to 3 other cameras using the Multicam app. That's coming through the wireless webcam application on your computer.
Right.
That signal is then being run to this face recognition software, which is called again
Snap Camera.
Snap Camera. And then that feed is then being rerouted into
NVIDIA Broadcast. Yep.
And then that's being sent to Streamlabs.
That's being sent to Streamlabs, and then Streamlabs is going to Melon.
And then Streamlabs is going directly to Melon. Wow. So heck of a signal chain, but look at the results.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so smooth. It's so unbelievably smooth. Oh, there you go. Do it again. Shake your head again like that. Yeah. Wow. So what's important to realize too is all of the signals that we're using right now are high definition signals, but they're all getting sent through like all of these funnels essentially. So by the time they get to Melon and by the time they get to the stream, you're going to notice that they are a little bit compressed, right? As far as like the quality.
For sure.
But if we were to record this locally in Melon, we would have the option to record the full HD signals and then edit it later, let's say if we wanted to. So that's a cool option that Melon gives you, knowing that the streams may be a little bit compressed on the output, but if you want to save that higher quality version of it, you can absolutely do that with Melon, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, that's so awesome. And now you're in outer space.
Just do anything you want, and obviously it being Snap, it really emphasizes the makeup overlay. But yeah, really, really fun. You can do a lot of things. You can also do add this here. So obviously the Mevo has the fine faces and live follow. You can also do this.
Oh
So,
man.
I've now got the background blur, the AR overlay, and it's face tracking.
It's incredible.
Right?
It's so wild.
Pretty nuts.
All right. So yeah, I don't even know what to say. I think this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I mean, when we talk about using the Mevo to the full extent, I think this is what we mean, right?
Yeah. I mean, I told everybody last show I was really gonna go overcomplicated. So
and you have accomplished
I followed
that.
through.
Let's take a look at what's happening in the app here. So just so everyone can see, here's the total view of everything that's happening, right? So you have Disney Will in the top box on the left there. Let's see if I can bring that a little bit bigger. You have Human Will, which is questionable.
It's weird to
he might be he may be an Android.
Yeah, right.
And then you have the controls. All right, so Will, do me a favor, just so everyone could see. Do some like maybe just some view switching or some additions using the application here.
Yeah, so I can obviously switch there back and forth.
This is in the
from
Mevo
my
app.
Mevos. This is in the Mevo app, yeah. And then if I want to switch to like my phone, I can do that there. Let's see. So grab stream.
Because right now the Disney is using the same webcam
it's
input.
because I switched over from let's see, from Streamlabs to NVIDIA Broadcast. But if I do in Melon, so I switched over from that. So if I can switch it back really quick.
Gotcha. So for anyone else watching, as Will was describing that, which one were you looking at? Because I can't stop staring at cartoon Will, and it's
trippy, right?
It's trippy because you guys are mirrored too, so it literally looks like a different person is just in our stream and just hanging out.
Right.
And it's a different angle, so it looks like a different room almost. It's so cool. This is blown away. I'm gonna while you check that out, I'm gonna take a look at some questions and just look at the comments and see what people are saying about this. I haven't gotten a chance to really dive in yet. Let's see here. We have Christopher is saying he votes. Let me see if I can find it. If I can pull it up on the screen here. All right. So Christopher is saying he votes that Will does Mevo Live as Pixar Will moving forward. Chris, I got to be honest with you. I don't disagree. I think that's maybe an avenue we're going to have to look into and just go cartoon all the time. That'd be awesome. Virgil saying endless possibilities. Yeah, I think that's kind of the conversation we're having, right? It's like, what else can you think of? Like, what else can we do? Do you find use case scenarios for this stuff? Is this stuff? Do you see? Is it opening up your imagination and unlocking some ideas? Let's bring him in here.
Yeah, I mean that's really the point of this. Is whether or not you would use this entire very complicated setup is probably unlikely, right?
I mean, we are.
That is true. That is
We're using it right now. It's happening. So I guess it really depends on what you're doing. I think you know what I
Yeah.
think Fred the Hippo sums it up the best. I think he sums it up the best with this. Whoa.
Facts. Well put, Fred. Well put.
Man, really cool. This is a funny one. Hold on. Baking Potato. Thanks for guys. Thanks for participating. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for having fun with us during these demos. Let me pull us up here. Let me see if I can get Will. Where is it? Apps view. There it is. And there we are. So Baking Potato says, I'm a big fan of the black background. No need to tidy up anymore. How convenient. LOL. I mean, it's an excellent point to bring up because a lot of people are streaming from their home studios now. Look at us right now. We're streaming from like our literally our homes. And to hide your background to save you some time, I think is a important call out.
Yeah, and it does a better job than Zoom does. So that's
right.
nice.
All right, let's pull this back up here. Oh my god. It's so funny. So let's take a look inside Streamlabs here. So this was just the image of what Will was having going on. But if you notice that he has a bunch of different scenes that he could choose from on this, which is really cool. So you can set up the version where you have, the Pixar Will, or you can set up a version that's specifically for gaming, like Will has here under the gaming tab. So that could be a whole different setup where you have, for example, my gaming setup. I have my Mevo and my Blue going to my stream, and then I bring in my game audio separately. So if I want to mix those together or have a different mix, I'll bring that in separately into Streamlabs and then have that whole stream go to the game. And we're going to be talking more about gaming in the next couple of weeks too, because obviously, encompassing all of the Logitech products that we have right now, gaming is a huge part of it.
For sure. I really want to take advantage of these new Logitech G mice and keyboards that we've got.
Absolutely.
So trippy.
All right. Let's dive back into some more cues. Laser Let's making a good point. He's saying that this is basically you can have a whole TV station for not that big of a budget, really. A lot of stuff we're using here today too, like the applications are free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's a really good point. Streamlabs is a free program. So you've got the most expensive part right now, right? The Mevos are the most expensive part, and everybody here, pretty much everybody here, I would say, has a Mevo.
Yeah, so, and look at this, pretty awesome, guys. Thanks. CBUS Sports Radio, appreciate it. Oh, here we go. Let's see what you got, Will. He has to do a cartoon voice as well.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't know what I can do, man. I gotta get an app to do that. I'll do that next time.
Yeah, let's maybe get like a voice changer app. Oh,
Yeah,
we're
I
getting
could
calls out
use
from Ratatouille.
bust out voice mod from Ratatouille. Yeah, actually, that's what I was thinking too.
All right, what Fred said. Yeah, I think we can all agree with Fred. Whoa, right?
Craziness.
Here's a question for you, Will, about specifically this. So he says I just realized I'm not even in the chat. It's okay. I'm over here, guys. I have a problem playing a game and doing snap cam. I get major lag and frame drops. So, I mean, that could be CPU requirements. I mean, what do you think on that, Will?
Yeah, that's well, for SnapCam, it's probably more of your graphics card, right? So your graphics card's getting worked really hard for doing the game, and then SnapCam needs a lot of graphic power to do its effects. Like all of that is done. I guess the majority of that is done through the graphics card. So it depends what kind of graphics card you have, but I have a NVIDIA GTX 2070, I think. So it's pretty beefy. It's about mid-range. But yeah, it does require a hefty computer.
Yeah, it's a good call out. Here's one from Max on YouTube. So Max is asking about your tablet exclusively. Is it exclusively Wi-Fi or is it both cellular and Wi-Fi? Does it have both bands?
This specific tablet that I'm using is a Wi-Fi only tablet, but
Mm-hmm.
I think you can get this for a cellular option. That being said, I don't think you could do any of this over cellular.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much requirement.
Right.
All right. Let's see what else we got in here. Here we go. This is from Ricky on Facebook. Thanks for watching, Ricky. Can I drop a presentation into the Mevo Multicam app like you can in the single cam app?
So not right now. Not right now. You can't do full presentations like you can in the single cam app. That being said, you can definitely. It depends how big your presentation is, but you definitely use screenshots of each page on the presentation and bring those into Multicam. Or you can do what I'm doing right now and use Multicam to bring your Mevos into your computer, then put your presentation into Streamlabs, and then put that Streamlabs output either streaming somewhere or into a virtual camera and into Zoom or Melon or anything like that.
Yep, there you go. I'm curious to see if this pops up. Awesome. So Les, I'm putting this up just because if you are not watching us on Twitch, this is some cool, fun stuff you could do with Twitch. You could put all these awesome emojis up.
It's just a party in Twitch.
It is a party in Twitch. This looks like a long one, but we're going to go for it. Looks like an audio question, so let's take a look. Jeff from Facebook, he's asking, I enjoyed the multicam audio tutorial a couple weeks ago. Thank you. I have 3 Mevo cameras on set, all of which can be part of the audio mix. Sweet. That's awesome. But usually designate the closest camera as the main audio source. Makes sense. And mute the volume of the others. But is there a way to preview those other audio sources, like in headphones, to see if they might be better audio source without immediately being part of the stream? No. No, but you'd have to test that before the stream. So what happens is in the Multicam app, actually, well, you have the Multicam app open, right? Let's go to app view here.
Yeah.
So if you go to the audio mixer, so you have a master output, and I believe that's going to be your preview output as well. So if you look at here, let me pull up my little arrow. By the way, has anyone noticed the arrow? How cool it is? It's a great idea. So if you look at right here, well, you'll see like that speaker icon. Yep. That's the monitoring icon. So what you would do here is you would connect Bluetooth headphones to the tablet or to the phone or whatever you're using to control, and you can hear your audio through there. Now, the only thing is I don't believe if the output here is muted, I don't believe that will work because this is previewing your output. So it's not like you could preview it and then have a muted output like you would in Streamlabs. You can absolutely do that in Streamlabs.
Right.
I don't think... So for example, watch Will, if you go ahead and mute that output, you'll see the faders drop on the main faders, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So those are correlated. So it's not happening pre-fader. But in any event, though, you can mute your output all together if you need to. But I would definitely just, like, check these volumes and see what works best prior to the event. Now, if it's an event where, like, it's a live show and you kind of have to go with what's best, you just might have to just cycle through real quick and make that decision. But you can absolutely monitor it using Bluetooth headphones connected to the tablet with this button here.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Good question. Calling it back to the audio show.
Laser Less saying graphics cards, based on what you were saying earlier, can you even find a good one anymore? I guess they're hard to come
question.
by. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, they actually did just lower the price for NVIDIA cards, but finding one is the challenge.
Yeah. But yeah, back to Jeff's point. Oh, is the arrow still here? It's new. I'm getting used to it. Look, I can even do this. Ah!
Boom. Just in case people can't see.
Oh man. Yeah, man, we're trying to grow the things we can do with the show. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's take a look at what we talked about today. Let's recap it a little bit. So we talked about multicam to webcam. We did that demonstration 3 weeks ago, right? So we showed you how to bring the multicam signal into your computer via the wireless webcam application. So if you didn't see that, that's the preliminary to this one, to this today's show. So we did that. Last week, we talked about the audio mixer, right? So we talked about how to pick and choose your audio sources, how to blend them together, how to use them for different options. And then this week, we're talking about how to get all of that into Streamlabs and then mix it with a bunch of other things. So Will, as far as like the Streamlabs setup here, what else can you think of to comment that you think people would because like obviously we can get in the weeds and get very complicated with this, which we plan on doing very soon. But as far as like, so let's say someone's just opening up Streamlabs, or maybe they want to give this a shot. What are some pointers you could guide them towards?
Yeah. So Streamlabs is really great because it makes everything a lot easier than it would be anywhere else. Specifically, the more advanced things, right? Like obviously, creating different scenes and adding different sources. It's all pretty basic. You can just go in, press that plus to add a new scene. Same with the sources. You can just add that plus. And actually, what's nice about this is when you go into those sources, it will explain what each one of them is as an option. So if I do, let's see if I can. So if you want to pull up my screen.
Yep. Let's pull that up here. It. Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Cool. So
nice.
This is my current setup right here. We've got all of the different sources. We've got the different scenes here. Like if I wanted, this is the Be Right Back one that I was talking about, and I just throw that up. And then of course you can go into the weeds a little bit. Like I was talking about how you add a source, and this is really nice how they have this set up right here, because if you go in any other program, whether it's OBS, Ecamm, vMix, anything else, it's a lot more complex. They don't explain things. And so if I go to like image, for example, this will tell me what kind of image are supported. And same with everything else. So it just explains everything in a really nice and easy way. And it's just really, really good how they have everything laid out. Like you can add these widgets, and these widgets are not things that you can do anywhere else either. So
yeah, and this is where you're really going to get in. Like, look, keep this open for a second, because just this section only, we could do a whole show on just this screen, right? Literally on just how to use widgets, the advantages of using widgets, what do they do, how professional streamers are using these to make their streams more dynamic. So this is a huge area that we could cover in future shows. So let us know in the comments in the chat. Let us know if this is stuff you want us to get into, because we'd be happy to. But do me a favor, Will, go back to that first screen again. And I like how they split this up to essential sources, and then you have like your general sources, right? So essential sources, your media sources, right? Your video inputs, screen capture. This is all the stuff we're using today, right? This is all the stuff we're using for the show right now. But they have some other stuff there, alert boxes, which is really cool. So if you're getting messages and stuff like that, followers on Twitch, all stuff that's definitely essential to a successful stream.
All of this stuff is stuff that like you've probably seen before if you watched a lot of people's streams on Twitch, and it seems very advanced, and it actually can be very advanced. So if you go into some of the other services that do this, then you have to worry about HTML overlays and making sure you're doing that right. You have to go from one service to the other service to the other service. Like it's a very long chain to do these things that you can do in Streamlabs that are directly in Streamlabs. So it's just, I've said like 7 times that it's easier, but like that really is the core of Streamlabs, is being able to do these really advanced things really easily. And so that's a huge benefit. And of course, that is just, when we're talking about adding sources, but there's all sorts of other things you can get, whether it is stats or themes for your graphics. You can have different merch options as well. Streamlabs just has this entire ecosystem, really. Like when you think about um, what they offer, and this includes, Streamlabs obviously is part of Melon, and on top of that, there's Willow for your links. There is what is it? The copy clip. I want to say I don't want to mess it up.
Um,
But there's the
I gotta
clip
find it.
program.
Mhm.
And so they have lots and lots of different services that all help you become a much more advanced, better streamer, more engaging streamer. Oh yeah, like tips. That's actually a huge thing in Streamlabs. That's how people set up their tips most of the time. So it's
Mhm.
a good way to make some money. So you've got this free program option in Streamlabs that allows you to make some money, which is nice.
Whew.
So
All right, man.
there's lots going on.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's a good question. CBSU Radio Sports Radio says, guys, is there a way to use multicam with 3 cameras in OBS with each camera designated as a separate source using the webcam app? That's a good question. That is where the line is drawn. So no. So basically, what's happening is the Streamlabs is seeing the wireless wireless webcam input as one
Right.
input. What happens before that input is the multicam app, right? So as far as Streamlabs is concerned, we're just receiving one video feed. All that changing and switching that you're doing between the cameras is individual on the app side. But it's a good question. It's a good question. Now, if you did want to do that, again, we can go back into here and you can see under the sources menu, you could just add in a Mevo via NDI or add in another Mevo via the wired webcam.
Yeah. And the advantages of the scenes are if you want to have multiple Mevos and each Mevo has their own graphic overlays, like if you're switching between, maybe you have lower thirds for different people for different Mevos, then you can do that by setting up multiple scenes and you'll say Mevo 1, Mevo 2, Mevo 3. And each time you switch to the other Mevo, everything will be loaded with that. So graphics, lower thirds, videos, animations, all of that comes combined in each one of the scenes.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we have a lot of people that ask for the graphics to be pinned in multicam to each one of the cameras. So you can actually do that in Streamlabs.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's fun because like a lot of the requests now, like now that we've gotten a lot done, right? Webcam, audio mixer,
Right.
a lot of the requests now are trying to make the multicam app more like Streamlabs, like be able to do the things that Streamlabs can do. And part of me is like, yeah, let's do it, and part of me is like, that's a kind of a big ask because Streamlabs it's a big program and it does a lot of things. So,
Yeah.
but we're kind of getting there. It's really cool. So
Yeah,
this
we
is
really
one
are.
this is one I want to kind of just bring to light because this is actually a good call out. So when he lowers or mutes an audio channel, it no longer records the individual camera angle on the SD card. So if you're recording in multicam and you're recording
Mhm.
each different angle separately as an ISO, if you turn off the audio for that particular input, it's going to turn off audio on your recording. He would like to have those other audios available for post editing. I think that's a great idea. I think a way to have a sub mix in the multicam, that's essentially what you're asking for. So a fader out sub mix is what you're asking for. I think it's an awesome idea. I think it's a complicated thing to do with inside an app, but looking
Right.
at the improvements they've just recently made on the audio mixer, I wouldn't put it past them to do this. But I don't imagine this is something that would happen soon. But I do love this idea, so I'm bringing it up on the show so they see it and we can maybe think about it because it is a good idea.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, and you can say the same thing for video. One thing that a question we've gotten in the multicam app is the ability to have like a studio mode where you can see like what shot is about to go out instead of just clicking on the shots that you're going out. So you can kind of plan that, which you can do in Streamlabs as well with studio mode, right? You can get
Right.
your shot set up before you click go to program. So there's little things like that I think are going to come with more advanced versions of the multicam app for sure. Okay, here we go. Laser Less says he uses both OBS and Streamlabs. Just so you know, it's called Streamlabs Desktop now. That's the official name. So you like Streamlabs because the instruction and wizards for some basic streaming. I like OBS. Yeah, I mean, it's all personal preference on that one, Will. I mean, like you said, for like the widgets and the tips and all that kind of stuff built right into the program, whereas in regular OBS, you do need, third-party plugins and stuff like that.
Right.
It does kind of bring things a little bit more together on Streamlabs. Any opinions on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's spot on. Obviously, you want to do what you're comfortable with, and you know very well. I've found that pretty much everything that I can do in OBS, I can do in Streamlabs, and I really like the Streamlabs control, the mobile control. So even when I'm not doing this kind of a multicam setup or not doing the split screen on my tablet, I love having this. Either have it on my phone or have it on another tablet, and obviously you can go full screen. There you go. And so you can just go full screen and have all your buttons available to you.
Yeah, I think that's great. LaserLess also says, just an FYI, he has over 80 scenes in his Streamlabs and even built a slot machine for viewers to win prizes. That's awesome, man.
That's impressive.
Like less he's always like pushing the envelope with his stuff. Like every time we hear something new, it's 80 scenes. I mean, geez, that's great. I'd love to see the organization on that, actually. That'd be cool. Send us a screenshot of how you're organizing those scenes. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Because that's gotta be hard to maintain,
Yeah, I would think so.
All right, Will, we're winding it down. Let's close up some of these questions here.
Cool.
Let's see. Jeff says on Facebook, is there in Multicam a way to duplicate a graphic that you're already created so that the color and opacity setting could just be mimicked instead of start from scratch with each graphic? Interesting. I don't think you can necessarily duplicate graphics inside the app, but you could just upload the same graphic a bunch of times and then just change it from there, right? Let's hop in your Multicam app. Maybe we could take a look at that.
So you could do like, if I screen, could have like the one graphic and have it just change the opacity. So you could do that, but in terms of duplication, no.
Yeah, it won't duplicate inside the app, but you can upload the same graphic a bunch of times and then edit it, each one differently as far as like their opacity or their alignment or whatever text you may be adding to it. So yeah, it's just a matter of just the way you upload them.
Oh, so it actually, if you do an image, it blocks out the color opacity.
Oh, it does.
Interesting.
Well, he said graphics, so I'm not sure if he's necessarily talking about just importing an image.
Okay.
So then if you're doing editing graphics, then yeah, you could just edit the graphic and create a new one and edit it and create a new one. Yeah, I can see where duplicating would be useful. That's a good call, Jeff.
Yeah.
You know what? Our developers are watching. I think that is a useful call. Being able to duplicate things inside the application. I think that's actually a pretty good idea. Thank you for that one. This is the kind of stuff we need to hear, guys. So this is, we say, I want to create a lower third for one name and then duplicate it for additional names. Yeah, makes sense. 100%. Good idea. All right, man.
Good stuff.
Whew. Yeah.
I like doing these demos. Yeah, for sure. I think really like pushing the envelope is always a lot of fun. And even if it's something that, our users may not do, it's still like, I think it's a good learning process. Like when you were doing the audio show last week, like it's very rare that I would have maybe even more than 3 audio sources set up, but I really want to know how it works to have more though, just in case I ever do, and you may not use every single feature that I did at the same time, like changing your face entirely to a cartoon face while blurring the background and having it do a find follow on your face. Like it's definitely an extreme way to do it. But that being said, it's a lot of fun. You can certainly do 1 or 2 of those. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in to our little demo. Next week is going to be a very big, exciting show. And so let's talk again a little bit about how we're switching over. Yeah, so next week on Thursday, we are going to be on different channels. So don't watch on the current Mevo camera Twitch or the Mevo camera YouTube. It will be Logitech for Creators on YouTube, youtube.com/Logitech for Creators, twitch.com/Logitech C, or twitch.tv/Logitech C. And then Facebook, we're still going to be on Mevo Camera on Facebook, but as you know, we're always trying to move you over to Twitch and YouTube because it's a better experience. You have much better quality video. You also have a better community over on Twitch. So head over to Twitch or YouTube and don't miss it. Tuesday and Thursday, always we are going to be live, but now we're going to be live on those new channels, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Got to get more used to saying that. So yeah, we're going to do a lot of fun stuff. We're going to do some giveaways, playing some games, doing a lot of good stuff. So if you want a lot of free gear, you want to come to that show.
Yeah. And again, that's March 31st.
Yeah.
I just realized that it was .com. It should be .tv on Twitch. Gotta fix that.
I think it'll work as well, though.
I think both work too, yeah. Also, if you want to become a user tester, please sign up for our user testing program. This is a program where you get to take a look at and maybe get your hands on some unreleased products, packaging, software, and firmware from Logitech for Creators. Follow the link below to sign up, or you can find this link in the description of this video on YouTube or Facebook. It's on there as well. For some reason, it doesn't go to the Twitch. We got to figure out why. But if you want to find the link, go to our YouTube page and find the link there, or copy it from right here and join our testing pool. You know, we actually already have a bunch of people from the show join and hit us up and stuff like that, and actually already get involved in some tests, which is pretty cool. All right, Will, I think that's it. I think we could put a button on this episode. Please, if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. We'll take a look at them. Join us again next Tuesday, or this Tuesday. That'll be another Ask Mevo Anything, and from there we can go over everything we talked about this month so far, right? So we talked about the audio mixer, we talked about getting Multicam to Streamlabs, we talked about the Multicam webcam applications. So we can cover it all, get all the answers, all those questions answered.
There you go.
On Tuesday. Nailed it. We got there. All right. In that case, I will see everyone then. Will, you have a good weekend. Everyone else have a good weekend. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, guys.